1, 2, 3. Rolling, uploading. Hallowing from Iceland. Hauke Ragnarsson. Then the still cool hour before dawn they rested for a brief space. The moon had long gone down before them and the stars glittered above them. The first light of day had not yet come over the dark hills behind. For the moment Aragon was at a loss. The Orc trail had descended into the valley, but there it had vanished. Which way would they turn, do you think? Said Legolas. Northward, to take a straighter road to Isengard or Fangorn, if that is their aim as you guess, or southward, to strike the ambush. They will not make for the river, whatever mark they aim at, said Aragorn, and unless there is much amiss in Rohan, and the power of Saruman has greatly increased, they will take the shortest way that they can, find over the fields of the Rohirrim. Let us search northwards. Yeah, I gotta read this all again, kind of, if I want to read it for a permanent recording. I'm just trying out a little bit. The dale ran like a stony trough between the ridged hills, and a trickling stream flowed among the boulders at the bottom. A cliff frowned upon their right. To their left rose grey slopes, dim and shadowy in the late night. They went on for a mile and more northwards. Aragorn was searching, bent towards the ground among the folds and gullies leading up into the western ridge. Legolas was some way ahead. Suddenly the elf gave a cry, and the others came running towards him. "We have already overtaken some of those that we were hunting," he said. "Look!" He pointed, and they saw that what they had at first taken to be boulders lying at the foot of the slope were huddled bodies. 5 dead orcs lay there. They had been hewn with many cruel strokes, and 2 had been beheaded. The ground was wet with their blood. "Here is another riddle," said Gimli, "but it needs the light of day, and for that we cannot wait." "Yet, however you read it, it seems not unhopeful," said Legolas. "Enemies of the orcs are likely to be our friends. Do any folk dwell here in these hills?" "No," said Aragorn. "The Rohirrim seldom come here, and as far from Minas Tirith. It might be that some company of men were hunting here for reasons that we do not know, yet I think not." "What do you think?" said Gimli. I think that the enemy brought his own enemy with him," answered Aragorn. "These are northern orcs from far away. Among the slain are none of the great orcs with the strange badges. There was a quarrel, I guess. It is no uncommon thing with these foul folk. Maybe there was some dispute about the road." "Or about the captors," said Gimli. "Let us hope that they, too, did not meet their end here." Aragorn searched the ground in a wide circle, but no other traces of the fight could be found. They went on. Already the eastward sky was turning pale, the stars were fading, and a grey light was slowly growing. A little further north they came to a fold in which a tiny stream, falling and winding, had cut a stony path down into the valley. In it some bushes grew, and there were patches of grass upon its sides. "At last," said Aragorn, "here are the tracks we seek. Up this water channel. This is the way that the orcs went after their debate." Swiftly now the pursuers turned and followed a new path. As if fresh from the night's rest, they sprang from stone to stone. At least they reached the crest of the grey hill, and a sudden breeze blew in their hair and stirred their cloaks, the chill wind of dawn. Turning back, they saw across the river as the far hills kindled. Day leaped into the sky. The red rim of the sun rose over the shoulders of the dark land. Before them in the west, The world lay still, formless and grey. But even as they looked, the shadows of night melted, the colours of the waking earth returned. Green flowed over the wide meads of Rohan. The white mist shimmered in the water whales. And far off to the left, 30 leagues or more, blue and purple, stood the white mountains, rising into peaks of jet, tipped with glimmering snows, flashed with the rose of morning. "Gondor! Gondor!" cried Ergon. "Would that I looked on you again in happier hour! Not yet does my road lie southward to your bright streams. Gondor, Gondor, between the mountains and the sea, west wind blew there, light upon the silver tree. Fell like bright rain, and gardens of kings of old, or proud walls, white towers, wing crown and throne of gold. O Gondor, Gondor, shall men behold the silver tree? A west wind blow again between the mountains and the sea?" "Now let us go," he said, drawing his eyes away from the south and looking out west and north to the way that he must tread.